Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Tonight, we finish Heavensward and move into Stormblood. So, cool. Let's go. Alright, we are live. Making sure I actually have my proper gear equipped, because I've been changing it a lot this week.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay,
Alright.
give me the title to follow the stream here while I type it.
I think it's WoW players playing Final Fantasy.
It should appear in Discord here in just a minute. Sometimes it takes it a minute or two, but...
Is it in general or in the Final Fantasy?
It'll
Video
be at
streams.
video streams, yeah. Of course, the only thing that gets posted there is my stream, so even if the name is wrong, it should still take you to the right stream. Although I am wondering why none of the bots have appeared yet.
Well, I see a gilded bot, a G's bot, and a Streamcord bot.
Well, the one in the stream team Discord has noticed me. In a second, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Oh, they're starting to pop now. The one just popped in my Discord, so it should appear in this one here soon. There, I'll just copy and paste it myself. And watch the bot come and do it here in 5 seconds or something. And actually, I just noticed this dungeon we're about to do. I don't know how long or difficult it's going to be, but I note it does not have an item level sync icon on it. So, there might not... This might be one that we can actually get to go faster as we get better gear, so...
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Are we ready?
Not yet.
Okay. Actually, so far there's been very few dungeons in Heavensward that have item level requirement or item level syncs on them. The library and the research facility are the only two so far. There are probably a few hards that we haven't unlocked yet that have them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, that's cool. I must have typed it all in right because it went in blue, so she can just tag it. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, the bot finally did it. That's cool.
Yeah. It's strange. I use the same bot in the guild Discord that my stream team uses over in theirs. I don't know why that one worked fast and one didn't. But anyway, here we go.
I'll watch my mouth, just in case.
Okay.
What?
I was like, don't we have to go turn something in? But I think that thing over there is for us to turn in for this.
Yeah, that's the marker of where the entrance thing is, so we can click that if we need to.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
If this were WoW, That's where the dungeon portal would be.
Have we done this one before?
No, this is a new one.
Okay.
Vampire. They have
Now I wish I would have watched the whole thing.
everything.
And we'll get a bonus 80 Algan Tomestones of Poetics when we're done here. I don't know why I read the whole thing out.
It's all good.
Because I'd still be reading it.
Hello, Patrol. I don't remember inviting you to this party.
That was me. The big guy I actually tagged on to and brought him.
I
If
think
he
they
had
were
other
talking
guys with
about-
him, he came over with them. Sorry.
No, I think he was walking over here.
Note to self, do not put KJ in charge of the guest list.
No. he brings
Well-
bad people.
You guys are mean. I just clicked tabbed and it went yellow and I accidentally just shot and it brought him over.
Gotcha. I'm actually surprised that we appear to be fighting Garleans. Although I guess the rebels haven't gained control of the wall yet.
Oh, I remember where we're at now.
I know. For a second, I'd lost the storyline in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Alamegans or Alamegan resistance have are trying to seize control of the wall while disguised as the Grand Companies.
Yeah, Allied forces.
And we're being sent to kick some sense into the Griffin.
Okay, I did not pull him that time.
No, he invited himself.
I snuck up on him.
Party crasher.
Oh, and tomorrow I should have Captain.
Nice. I'd say I'm a little surprised how tame the music is in here.
Yeah.
Maybe it will get more as we go on, though.
Not too much more, I hope, because then it gets too loud to hear.
That's why I have mine turned down considerably.
Sorry, I kept focus on that guy because he was shooting at somebody, and so I picked him up. And he wasn't coming in. Well, there's something to pick up.
Hmm?
Never mind. Somebody
Another
else
key.
got it. Yeah. key.
Gotcha.
I was thinking it was something for me, but that's because we played WoW.
Okay, this is the entirety of what this says about this boss. Magitech Predator. Magitech Claw, attack on tank. Magitech Ray, linear high damage attack. Magitech Missile, targeted high damage explosion on marked people. Move away from others when marked with Magitech Missile. End of description.
Pretty
Probably that
straightforward.
same red line that was on the trash.
Could be. Oh, this looks like something straight out of Final Fantasy VI. Okay, the claw hurts a good bit. I should use a defensive next time.
Ads.
Oh, I'm marked.
More ads.
Okay, so when the ads show up, it looks like it drops whatever dot he has on him.
There isn't an identification key back there, is there, KJ?
I
Yeah, never mind.
finally got through, sorry.
Okay, we don't need one. We're good. think I might actually tick over to 64 tonight, finally.
Cool.
I know Zora's already 65. What are the rest of you? What are you and KJ, Emo?
I'm 64.
I think I'm 64 as well. I can't remember. And it's not showing me.
Yeah, it's not that important at the moment.
Right.
And we're probably going to start gaining levels quickly soon, so... Since we should be in Stormblood tonight. Alright, this kind of feels like a... We have all of these Garlean models, and we haven't used any of them this X pack, so let's use them all. I'm not complaining. Enemy variety is good, but...
That's what I'm talking about.
Alright. Launcher is a group-wide AoE. Dynamic Sensory Jammer damages oneself for any actions taken while the debuff is active. So that means when you get targeted with it, don't move, don't do stuff. Magitech Bit. Summoned bits around the room create a checkerboard AoE before disappearing. Distress Beacon summons many low HP adds. Tank damage is significant due to the quantity of adds. Take no actions during Dynamic Sensory Jammer. Be ready with heals and AoE damage during the Distress Beacon adds. He's casting it. Don't move. Don't do stuff. Okay, you're good. Here comes the checkerboard AoE. Here comes Dynamic Sensory Jammer again. Don't move, don't do stuff. Good, move. Here come the ads. Oh, we have the thing on us.
Yeah, I was like, oh, oop.
Wasn't too bad, though.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Emo's all, speak for yourself.
Well, it was nice that he decided to keep casting his party-wide AoE while we were dealing with the ads.
Yeah. Key. Or, yeah, key.
Treasure box.
I thought you guys all taken off.
Oh, look, KJ got a prism.
3 of them.
Ha! See that, Emo? Ha ha! I'm kidding. You want it? Here. I'm dropping it. Yeah, I don't think she's getting on. She never replied.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
There are a lot of treasure coffers just hidden around corners. I feel like that one might have been a trap. Oh, these are actually the rebels now.
Yeah. I was all thinking in my head, take us to your leader.
Hey, we're on top of a wall. There's really only one direction we can go, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he's down inside killing.
He's single
See, she still gets
prism.
It's because she got all the others. I knew it.
Called it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and he's happy to see us, too. Of course he is.
Well, yeah, he's got the 2 eyes.
Alright, he has Beak of the Griffin, which is a room-wide AoE. Flash Powder, which is we need to turn away from the boss. Sanguine Blade leaps to one side of the room and cleaves the room in front of him. So we'll need to get behind him on that, I guess. Lion's Head, multiple swords rain down around the arena, damaging nearby players. After finishing the cast, the boss does a room-wide AoE, and the swords become targetable. They will channel Corruption. Unkilled swords eventually explode. The massive sword in the middle does a high damage room-wide explosion, which is probably based on how many swords are left alive, so we probably need to kill as many swords as possible. Bigfoot marks a player and pushes it back pushes back after the cast. So I'm guessing we might be able to get kicked off this platform, maybe. I don't know. Restraint Collar places the party's healer in restraints, preventing all actions. Kill the restraints to release the healer. So apparently it only targets Emo. And Claw of the Griffin is a high damage attack on the tank. When the Griffin casts Lion's Head, kill the sword in the middle and stand in the now vacant space. Be ready to chase the boss to avoid cleave from Sanguine Blade. Turn around during Flash Powder and be ready to break party members out of restraints. So when the swords rain down, kill the big one. Apparently we don't need to worry about the little ones.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you like this?
Look away.
Oh, I didn't
Sorry.
miss. That's okay.
Apparently I didn't look away either. Felt pretty sure I did, but...
Yeah. Sloppy. For Alamigo!
Here comes the swords.
I have you now.
It's always the big
Okay, come get the big one in the middle.
Yeah. How'd you like this? Yeah! Sloppy. Ugh. Yeah.
Look at the distance.
Emo's about to get restrained.
She is.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Sloppy. Yeah. I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy. For Alamigo!
Here come the swords again.
I have you now. Yeah. How'd you like this? Yeah! Ugh. Sloppy. Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
tired again.
Yeah. Yeah. Sloppy. Yeah. I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy. For Alamigo! I have you now. Yeah. How'd you like this? Yeah!
The nice sword, Ilbert.
But you don't deserve it.
No.
He's not dead yet. Dang it.
Well, once we hit the exit, we're gonna go into cutscene, so...
Oh, yeah.
Although, I don't really want to kill him. I want to hand him over to Raban and let Raban do whatever he wants to, and...
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's true, too.
That sounds.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come. We did it! We showed the bastards! Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells. Do you hear that?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly? Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
help us? What are we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful. Mighty Ralker, grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are. As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Ilbird, I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leverrier.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Al Amigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power!
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all! Ah!
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Timtimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalimo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, Ida. There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here. Not like this. Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
What's everybody doing?
Watching the cutscene.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the choice? Make
Yeah.
whichever
Oh.
choice you want.
He shot me onto the ship. Very interesting. Okay, he just did it. How come we can't go back for him?
I would imagine it has something to do with the spell itself.
Yeah.
Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papolino was my friend. I should have been there with him. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing. What had to be done. Master Louisoix wore the same look right before the end. You think I don't know that? I know, all right? I know. There is nothing more you could have done. Ilberd caught us off guard. Even the Warrior of Light was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papalimos strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Ishtola and the others of our imminent return. Do you have one of your things up, KJ?
Yep.
Okay.
Rainstone, that's on the bottom remnant toll, right?
Yep. I do wonder, what was Ilberd trying to summon?
Nope, emo.
Hmm?
Oh, there she is. Nothing.
He's got a really long load screen.
Would seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye. Behind the griffin's mask, we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Needhogg. whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual, even as we looked on. By the 12. I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's ether. Not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I am certain Papalymo was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Needhog's eyes. In the depths of the Sea of Clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind aspected aether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of an Ascian. But now is not the time for idle speculation. Trial, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal trap within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it then. Without so much as by your leave? Pray forgive Archinish Stola's her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtlessly compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alice, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papalymo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilberd's accursed creation without delay. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. Ah, I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before. A communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Cadania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As they stole its last report, the cocoon had yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to the proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tartaru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Strand. Stand. I don't know why I try to say strand every time. Well, who is this guy?
word, if you would, good
obviously
sir.
cool.
This place. It is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Well, still no idea who that was, but I'm interested in finding out.
That was funny.
Yeah,
It was
very
really
Very
funny.
good. So, is that where we're going?
Gridania. We have to go talk to the guy who's not supposed to speak.
Yeah, I want to go talk to the dude that passed out.
I imagine we will be speaking to him a great deal soon.
Mr. Silence himself. That's where we're going.
Yep. And just so y'all are aware, we have completed 3.5, and we are now in 3.56, which are the final few quests before Stormblood.
Ooh.
Well, the dude definitely looked like a samurai.
I would imagine he's one of Yugiri's people.
So a ninja?
No, her people from Doma.
Oh, Doma. Okay, got it, yeah.
My load screens are getting progressively long.
Alright,
Sorry, I'm here though.
no problem.
Did you ever get that download done?
Yeah, I did.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice-damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon, of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanow since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I'm graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word? As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartano and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
I like his little
My blade is
step
yours.
back there.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Poor Sid. Defeated. Poor Sid.
I'm curious to know which ones you guys picked, though. Did you
I said no, but I'll keep an eye on it.
I said he makes a compelling point.
That's actually what I said too.
Of course, Sid was like, and then in the end, what's his name tapping him on the back, like, "Oh, it's okay."
Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. A good question, Alpha Node, yes. And apparently we've entered the sequence where just, here's an orchestrant scroll, here's another one, and another one, and another one.
Now we get a questionable
Ooh,
gift.
a question mark box.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested.
I'm still interested in the knocked out guy, passed out.
True.
Landing airstrip, right?
We're talking to Alpha Node here.
Oh, I hadn't. Yeah. If you picked up the quest already, we hadn't.
Oh. Well, when you read the first thing, I was like, I went right through it all.
Gotcha. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alice is already on her way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. So, yes, that's exactly where we're going. Where are we? Where are we standing? Okay, there we are.
I was going to tell you, turn around.
Hey, Aunt.
Howdy, Aunt.
Oh, Shiro just logged off too.
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Your mic's open, we can't hear you.
Ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for the moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking around in the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alpha Node. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are... well, here they are now.
Hey guys, is my mic working now?
There you
Yep.
go.
Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Cartano? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear of an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh? I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright. While Alpha Node speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordana, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. My apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Istola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Pray accompany Alice back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right. Everyone heading to Mordana is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. For a second there, I thought her name was Hilda, and that Hilda was just wearing a costume. You are traveling with Master Garland, sir. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Not quite door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then?
Oh, careful, you almost bounced me off my seat.
Well, if you'd sit down.
I am right up front.
And I guess now we know why the Crystal Tower is required. Since it has been referenced now.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warriors.
Have you guys been into the Crystal Tower yet?
The fruits of man's enlightenment.
Oh yeah, we did that
Yet there's not
quite
so
some
much
time
as a
ago.
single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
Oh, you tell them.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remained behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? You, Giddy? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Even when he squats down like that, he's taller than me. Could I speak with you for a moment? What do you want to show me your tea kettle? Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we ambushed you? Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on now if you like.
She did really let him have it, didn't she? Her tea kettle.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, yeah.
Those are snazzy.
Oh, it's cute! I know, my outfit's cute too.
Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, bring you home. May it always protect you. And more orchestran scrolls.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
So we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well, I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alpha Node, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Istolia and Kryl. A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while the rest of you take care of security. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready.
Okay, there you go.
Yep, exactly what it looks like for me too.
Yeah, I wonder if I got emo and mine looks this.
Oh, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, I might save it to one of my glamour plates. Don't know how much
Yeah.
I'll use it, but... I'm going entirely the wrong direction. Oh, and now that we've met a lot of other dragons, I would like it noted how big Midgard-Sormr is. Y'all see him in the distance there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard. Given what Elaine Wairu was still given that Elaine Wairu was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by the new Primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. And we have to break party. But yeah, Ant, we are right at the end of Heavensward, about to work our way towards Stormblood.
Nice, congratulations, guys.
We're getting there. Hey, are you guys collecting those, oh, shit. I can't remember what they're called.
The irregular tomestones?
Yes, those.
Now, where was that? Ah.
I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Oh, that's right. Samurai were actually added in Stormblood. I'm not sure why they set their level to get them so much lower than everything else, but...
You watching,
That was lucky, because his sword went swinging out right over my head. I don't know about all
Leave
of you
this to
guys.
me.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
No holding back.
Your defense is lacking.
I have you.
It's all over now.
An opening.
Tis my right to strike.
This one'll sting.
Did anybody else hear it? No retreat, no surrender.
I did not.
I did.
Never give up, never surrender.
Surrender.
Sorry.
We have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward, for the Empire. The honorless cur thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions.
You watching, Pabalimo?
An opening.
Tis my right to strike.
No holding back.
No retreat. No surrender.
With soul and steel.
It's all over now.
Leave this to me.
I have you.
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
You watching, Pabalimo?
Anybody else get an evil smile when they jump in the magistrate? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But not as quite as evil as the Lullafels, I'm sure.
Absolutely not.
Tis my right to strike!
No holding back!
No retreat. No surrender.
With soul and steel!
It's all over now.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
Can you guys hear me?
All clear on this
Huh?
side. It's waking up.
Zora asked if we could hear.
Yep.
Because I've lost sound.
Uh-oh.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing? I suppose not. All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Pabalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose. Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way.
I'm not happy where we left that machine. I mean, did we bring it back to Gardania and plant it out here somewhere? Land somewhere?
Who knows? Although that fight was almost pure Final Fantasy fan service. Because Omega Weapon and Shinryu, which is what that dragon was, are recurring end-game super bosses in many many Final Fantasy games. I think I told you guys when I was streaming Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, that I had one fight that took me like an hour and 20 minutes. That was my fight with the Omega weapon. So...
Yeah.
Did you get your sound fixed, Zora? Or do you want to try to restart and see if you can get it fixed that way?
Um, yeah, I think I need to restart.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back.
So, Aunt, that was question. Was that you that I'd asked earlier?
Sorry, what was the question?
Have you been collecting the irregular tomestones?
I am not entirely sure about that. I'll have to check.
I just linked it in the guild. Well, I'm just because I think your daughters would actually know about it because you collect those and can get mounts and transmogs and colors, dyes, and all kinds of other stuff, pets and stuff.
They'd be dropping in your bag. Looks like the poetic or whatever they're called, but they're in your bags.
Yeah, it's an
Under
event.
key items.
Yeah, it's an event running from now until Endwalker drops.
Oh, I lied. It's not under key items. But...
Yeah, it just goes straight into your bags. But any duty in the duty finder that's marked with a Moogle will drop them.
Okay, yeah, if I've gotten any, I've gotten them by accident.
Okay, I think I have success.
Good. One moment everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon.
I jumped ahead of you guys. So if you're waiting for me, don't wait for me.
Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Eat up! Wait! We must The Elder Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphanode. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there will be eager to hear your testimony. I very nearly just teleported back to the airship landing. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You were too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing. That much is certain. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Gir Abana. The primals' might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope to never see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan's soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when we looked upon the primal's form, the dolmens were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Girabanan side of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force, under the command of Marshal Tarpon, to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have a perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border, and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the Council has adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Girabanya. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of the Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. If Stola and the others have gathered at Amarasyk's Spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. Alright, to Hawthorne Hut, KJ.
Yeah, I almost teleported when I was in there. Not sure if that would work for you guys out here.
I don't know either. I repeat my objections to calling this thing a spire. It's barely even a watchtower.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbird's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we? The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time. Ida, there is no need to explain. But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them. I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
It was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long. Though she had scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let's return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell Tartaru and my sister. Alright, once again, I'm not going to watch the whole credits, but thank you to the developers of the game. You've done a good thing. And now I proceed. He may have mentioned, but Alphanode has apprised me of all that came and passed in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way into Girabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom, but indolence. Correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect do you. Indeed, Alice. Indeed. Quick march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face their retribution. It is almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Edward. I'll take our homeland back. For the both of us. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Belsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzen Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us, my lord. Though both yet elude us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend... Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans called it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am. You know I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available? Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there.
I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well.
I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming, but we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations. Ready, my friend? Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Girabania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. That all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate, together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
Thousand malms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both of our endeavors meet with success. Shall we then? Wait, not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Lise, could you come with me? Me? What now? Alright then, if you insist. What do you think? I think you still don't have a full pair of pants. And you see, I designed it to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made for the needs of a skilled fighter like Lise. Your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as the Scion's receptionist and start referring to you as our preeminent seamstress. It's lovely, Tartaru. Thank you. I feel like I could take on a legion. I'm glad you like it. And with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels. Then onward, to Girabania. Our first stop will be Amasai's Spire in the East Shroud.
Good night, guys.
Later, Aunt.
Night, Aunt.
They're actually talking more conversational than the other stuff now that they're speaking in Spanish.
Yep. Seemed like they were kind of RPing before.
Yeah.
I didn't say it out loud. I didn't want to offend any watchers that might be watching. Although they could probably read that. Oh, there's a turn-in in here.
Oh, what in there?
There's 3 purple quests inside here.
I did not pick those up.
I didn't either.
Should I not then?
I didn't think either.
You can come back for them later. I'll probably come back and get them later.
They all look like how's that called?
Like hard mode?
Yeah. Dungeons.
Yeah.
This Mark and something else.
This character is called Milk Fax, and is it Boba?
Oh boy.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, you've caught her attention.
Oh, yeah, oops.
Don't move! Don't move!
No sudden movements. Their visual acuity is based on movement.
Oh, good, they're doing Spanglish now. KJ, are you almost done? We're waiting on you.
Getting there. I watched almost all the other things before I realized, oh, skip. All the words.
Oh, the credits?
Yeah. So hopefully I didn't miss anything.
Skipping the credits is fine. I did note a distinct lack of Asians.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just noticed that somehow my pup got up on the table. It is now on the floor. It kind of teleported back to the floor when I noticed it was on the table.
Like, oh, he saw me. I gotta get down.
Yes, no puppies on the table. You go under the table, where I can slip you things. As is only proper. And just got back up on the table.
And she's wearing less clothes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But still the same not pants.
Yep.
Yep.
At least she has like a waist piece that covers the slits so that her
That is true.
hips don't get cold.
Yeah. And
Now her stomach.
her stomach's all open though. Yeah. That's all cold.
Although, really, her new outfit compared to her old one, the new one actually covers more. She just doesn't have her coat closed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to Hawthorne Hut.
Oh, I was just going to ninja form so that those guys can't see me.
Okay, Jace, here now. We got one thing to do first. Unless you guys have already seen it, then in which case only I need to do it. But have you guys seen the Stormblood launch trailer? Or
I don't know.
launch
I'm not
cinematic?
sure. I think so.
Yep. Then it is time to log out to the start screen there and pick that cinematic. And we want Stormblood demo and title.
Oh, I logged all the way out. That was dumb.
Is that in the movies? And
Yes.
yeah, I found it. Okay. Is she a monk also or a dancer?
I think monk.
Yeah, I didn't see weapons in her hands. Or his, for that matter, but...
Although her outfit does scream dancer.
Yeah. And actually, some of her moves were dancer moves. What? Underwater city, too? I thought WoW was the only one doing that.
I note that we have not seen the Warrior of Light yet.
Wasn't that samurai guy that was in here that he was like the Warrior of Light or whatever back when back when we were gladiators.
I think the samurai was actually Yugiri's master, who we haven't met yet.
Oh, okay. Well, wait, isn't that the same guy though that was like okay, the instructor of the gladiators, that female fell for that one guy. Isn't that the same guy?
I doubt it.
Because they both had that big sword.
Yeah, but that guy was very much a samurai. The guy from the gladiator quest line was a gladiator, though.
No, he had a samurai sword too.
Well, he had a curved sword, but it wasn't a samurai sword.
But
it was
he didn't have a shield though.
He did have a shield.
Now, when he came and helped, I don't know. Wait, we're just watching the intro, right?
Yep. And then back into the game. It's also possible the Warrior of Light was the other monk fighting with Lys there at the beginning.
That's true. But that samurai guy also looked like the warrior dude. Same face and everything.
Some of the ones with brown hair all look alike. Like I thought the one soldier person next to the elder seer looked like the guy that set off the machines on the wall.
True.
Yeah.
Is this the guy that's in the one starting commercial that faces off with the others? Dude with the big barrel with 3 different samurai swords in?
You mean from the Shadowbringer trailer?
Yeah, in their cutscene, they're standing off.
I
2
don't think
armies
so.
face off against each other, and they're the only 2 left standing.
I don't think that's the same guy as the one we just saw.
Huh.
Either of the guys we saw.
Oh, what a jerk.
At KJ, Hawthorne Hut, when you're ready. Well, I no longer think the samurai was their master. I'm actually wondering if the Warrior of Light was 2 different people in that. Because we could have been the monk fighting with Lys, or we could have been the samurai. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, was that Lys then?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was definitely her.
And yes, she actually had pants in there.
Well, full dress.
All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officer that you wish to proceed into Girabanya. Ah, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall?
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girabania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Greetings, Scion. On behalf of the Eorzen Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Oriens. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None. Save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols, we've had barely any contact with them. But we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. As if attacking Baelsar's wall weren't enough, Ilberd summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald is not like to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. It was a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilberd's to make, and now we are bound by it, for weal or for woe. The Scions stand ready to serve, General. What would you ask of us? As stated in the message, the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Consider it done, General. We won't let you down. I swear. Then I'll leave it to you. Godspeed. Ha! Of all the Castra in all the world, you walk into mine. Master Garland, what brings you here? A certain missing Allagan weapon and draconic primal. Omega and Shinryu. I think the shinobi called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do. Then 'tis like Omega fell to Earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial's hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged their stasis systems. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming we should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press on into Girabania, we'll need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let's not waste any more time talking.
Crap.
Thank you. And I just got a couple things I'll have to investigate in just a minute. As you've probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to take us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters is located in a place called Ralger's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Veladina River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me, and we'll be there before you know it. If I had to guess, I would say Lisa's current appearance is her pugilist appearance. When she learns to be a monk is when she gets the other outfit. Assuming she gets it. Alright, just one moment. Let me see what those new things I got were. Alright, an AoE that costs magic points, so I don't know how often I'll use that. Another thing was interesting. Now all of my spells that cost magic points cost half as much. All 2 of them. And apparently, damage taken can no longer interrupt my casting.
Nice.
I wasn't aware that damage taken could interrupt casting, but yeah. And yeah, I assume we cannot fly anymore, and we cannot.
Nope. But there's a thing, 90 alms to the south.
Ah. Still with me? Good. From here, we head northeast towards the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim. Ah. Yeah, you turn around and run away, Bree.
There's one to the east. But you probably got it.
Yeah, I actually didn't think the compass was going to work here. I was thinking we were going to have to get another one.
That's why I tried mine first when I got back there. I was like, maybe it might. Let's see. Well, that's not it.
I was just sitting there looking at that fate was labeled as XP bonus.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was like really bold gold letters. I also noticed that the quest acceptance has a new sound to it.
Indeed. I don't see any soldiers. Good. Let's cross. You're wondering about the tower to the south. I wasn't, because I hadn't noticed it, but I am now. It's part of Castellum Veldina, which that's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely malms away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving.
Oh my gosh, that's okay.
And it's on you too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider knows.
It knows.
We're here. On the other side of this pass is Ralgar's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there is some sort of trick to this? Indeed, a glamour. Good eye, Stola. I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or mayhap an artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms? Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garleans. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tartaru told you, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way, and don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. And with a sprinkle of demasking dust, all is laid bare.
I remember the old stories. How the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralgar's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Now, I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do it on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. This has the feel of, like, Idleyshire.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralga's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalimo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask and...
Don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalimo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monago told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rolger it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
So, it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Ah, forgive me. You are free to look around Rhalgr's Reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of the opportunity and assess the Resistance capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside out. I could show you around if you like. Great, let's get started. I bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me. But the truth is we don't even count half. We've got Hell's Guard from all the way over by the Spine in here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. There are even some beast men. Well, beast women, I suppose. Like that one over there. She's an Ananta. They've been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta makes the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystals into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most of them don't even know they exist. That's enough about them anyway. Let's take a look at the statue of Rhalgar, shall we? Alright, let's see what this other beast person over here is. It's a snake? Yeah, I would say so. I imagine there will soon be more quests for y'all to do.
I'm not even done doing the others.
Well, they're not going anywhere.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah,
in your
showing
case,
up red for me.
Yeah, in your case, they might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I hope everything resets tomorrow or whatever the hell.
Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The Breaker of Worlds, who guided our ancestors to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on stormy nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th Astral Era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign, and lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky, and led the way to these mountains in Girabanya. They who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast. Hell's open, heavens weep, for no one's soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. The last part was inscribed on this stone by a monk of the Fist of Rhalgr. Ida explained it to me. A day will come, bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through to the end. Sorry, that was a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary.
Holy crap, was that real swimming?
It is entirely possible that it is. As I understand it, that does exist in Stormblood.
Yeah, it knocked me off my mount.
This is the infirmary. As you can probably tell, here's where the Resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aetheryte Plaza next.
Here we are again. Oh,
Yeah, I'm cheating.
nicely done. Well, I was actually just going to teleport myself. Have everybody show up with me.
When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design, dating back decades to when the Fist of Rhalgr was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the Sutlers are next, but don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go. Already done, Lise. Already done. Arms, armor, potions, you name it. These folks got it. The Resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything, or you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alpha Node and Alice A are here. Why don't you see how they're getting on? Ratsora.
Thank you.
Come to take the measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. It's a gamble, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I've sent someone to fetch Stola and Kryl, so if you'd like to follow me.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree. But it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Monago and Mefrid will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
Right then, Monago and Mefrid will be our keepers. Knowing naught of what they require, one task is as good as another. Make your choice.
Yeehaw, cowboy hat.
Alright, I suspect this is probably a good place to stop for the night. And we'll take care of these two tomorrow.
Cool.
Just 1 second, I'll wind down the stream. Alright guys, we're going to call it here for the night. And I may be back tomorrow. If not, we'll be back on Friday. So, until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. And have a good night.